In 1975, English singer-songwriter and actor Murray Head released his second album, Say It Ain't So. And for all the songs that were covered from the album by other artists, one of the most powerful statements remained unique to the album itself, the track The Boy on the Bridge.
There's a boy on the bridge and he's looking ahead with confusion in his eyes. There's a man on the ridge who is laughing out loud, heavily in disguise. There's a girl on the lake reflecting her thoughts, which she kisses away with sighs. What would you do in this boy's place? Move on or compromise? Freedom of choice is a hell of a burden. Maybe living for kicks is wise.
Let's unpack the lyrics so far. There's a boy on the bridge. You kind of already know where this is going. And he's looking ahead with confusion in his eyes. There's a man on the ridge who is laughing out loud, heavily in disguise. There's a girl on the lake, reflecting her thoughts, which she kisses away with sighs. What would you do in this boy's place? Move on or compromise? Freedom of choice is a hell of a burden. Maybe living for kicks is wise. So it's different people and different, just contemplating on life, whether they're gonna like give in to pressure, that different types of pressure that they're facing, or whether they're just going to turn their back on it and just debating with themselves, like trying to find the strength, trying to determine whether or not they have the will to go their own way in life, and to just and there's also some other things going on. There's a boy the boy on the bridge could be read in a few different ways. It could be a young man who's looking over a bridge, contemplating these life matters, or it could be a boy contemplating suicide, contemplating jumping off the bridge. Move on or compromise, therefore, could be seen as somewhat ambiguous in that regard.
There's a town far below that is calling him home, but his friends got bored and late. There's a hill up ahead with a mountain behind, with a path that is narrow and frayed. What would you do in this boy's place? Move on or compromise? Freedom of choice is a hell of a burden. Maybe living for kicks is wise. 'Cause he wants to be free, but he's frightened to be alone. 'Cause he wants to be free, but he's frightened to be alone. 'Cause he wants to be free, but he's frightened to be alone.
Okay, there's a town far below that is calling him home, where his friends got bored and laid. There's a hill up ahead with a mountain behind, with a pub that is barren and frayed. What would you do in this boy's place? Move on or compromise? Freedom of choice is a hell of a burden. Maybe living for kicks is wise. because he wants to be free, but he's frightened to be alone. And then it says that, those two lines, it says that over and over again, um, as the music grows in intensity. Um, yeah, I think that it could be read that there's basically two choices, but I think there might be a third. There's somewhat just of a kind of a fatalism that's brimming in the singing, in the mood. Um, that while ostensibly the choice is whether to conform or to just go his own way in life, leave his past behind and just move on, or the third possibility of just ending his life. There's a certain there's I've just always kind of gotten that vibe here, and I got a comment. I love just that oozing sustain guitar and how it interacts with the Fender on the slow, kind of mournful minor key Fender notes. And that guitar on here is played by David Gilmour, or so I've read. Although credits to the entry are kind of skimpy, but yeah, it was on Amazon that I read. Yeah, the credits are kind of skimpy here on all of the entries for this album. There's actually 42 entries, and maybe, uh, produced by Paul Samuel Smith from the Yardbirds, who had become quite a producer around this time. A lot of music in this vein: Carly Simon, Cat Stevens. Yeah.
What would you do if this was this? You're gonna compromise. Freedom of choice is the law of a man, and every business against his wife. 'Cause he wants to be free, but he's trying to be alone. 'Cause he wants to be free, but he's trying to be alone.
Want to be free and expected to be free. Oh, the way that song just kind of comes undone. It just frays at the end with just every last note counting. That guitar just kind of the last, well, that right, everything else subsides, and you've got that kind of glowing, sustained synth tone that kind of adds to the kind of kind of spacey kind of airiness of it all. That gives the song its lift, its intensity as things layer on. And then finally everything just sustains, and that guitar just kind of comes to a slow, gradual standstill. Yeah. The Boy on the Bridge by Murray Head from the 1975 album Say It Ain't So. Let's hear another track from the album, the equally dark in its own way, Don't Forget 'Em Now. just there is so much I could say about the arrangement and the kind of booming, echoey, sonic character of this track. It's like the bass, the sustaining, reverberating bass, the echoey, kind of airy vocals, like both from the female and just, oh God, it's got this kind of dark room vibe with nothing but maybe like a little bit of light kind of beckoning in through some closed blinds. There's like a real despondency, a real despair to this track. We're sensing that the subject of the song has hit rock bottom. Let's catch up with the lyrics here. Now, you know what the women were saying over and over again, but now is the time when he needs your every support. Now is the time when he needs your love. Now is the time when he needs your every thought. He needs help from you and heaven above. Don't forget him now. So this is a guy who really needs support from loved ones. Try carrying the load that he bears. It's bringing him down. Carrying the burden that's on his back. Try wearing the shackles that tie his feet to the ground. Seeing the light when the future looks black. Don't forget him now. Yeah.
Try carrying the load that he bears. It's bringing him down. Carry the burden upon his back. Try wearing the shackles that tie his feet to the ground. Seeing the light when the future looks black. Don't forget it now. Don't forget it now. Don't forget it now. Don't forget it now. Happy man, the conscience that taunts his weathered mind. Freedom from the snare that haunts mankind. Be the light to guide him. Be the shield to hide him. Show to him the self he has to find.
Help him bear the conscience that taunts his weathered mind. Freedom from the snare that haunts mankind. Be the light to guide him. Be the shield to hide him. Show to him the self he has to find. Let's see. Freedom from the snare that haunts mankind. Be the light to guide him. Be the shield to hide him. Show to him the self he... I'm starting to wonder if this might not actually be just about one man. This might be about the everyman, about mankind, about the common man, about the common downtrodden man in, it could tie into the strife that England was undergoing at the time with its economy just in the dumps. I mean, in the mid-70s, England was kind of on the verge of joining the Third World. It had lost its empire. London had become just a big, huge garbage dump. Well, there was a big one right in the center of the city and everything, and there was a lot of unemployment figures were just unprecedented, and a lot of people were despondent about their futures. It was a theme, it was a sentiment that would play out in the years ahead, um, and be reflected in the music scene and some of the socio-political commentary that came out of the pop scene. Yeah. I am just still trying to, I still don't think I've done justice to what it is about this sonic environment that just sends me into this like hypnotic, kind of mournful yet enjoyable trance. I think it's the way that that bass, the kind of echoing effect that that bass has that's going boom, 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 boom. And then the little nuances that are thrown in here and there, like the little guitar kind of licks, delicate choice notes.
Now is the time when you need. Now is the time when Now is the time when he needs your love. Now is the time when he needs. Now is the time when he needs help from you and heaven
Oh, oh, every last note counts. Every last tinkle of the Fender, every last bit of the guitar, every last pulsating bass, echoing, sustain, every last sustained, airy vocal note. The way those voices were just kind of weaving in and out of one another or just taking turns, kind of like, yeah, it's just, it's like a room full of mirrors, or it's like a dream where different fragments of visuals and sound are just kind of coming in different corners. And yeah, Don't Forget Him Now by Murray Head, from the album Say It Ain't So, and before that, Boy on the Bridge. Two very dark, very powerful statements from the album that say a lot, that could be read in several different ways, but very poignant however you managed to read them, I'd imagine. Other songs from the album, not these two, but other songs that were subject to... I don't think anyone else could really do justice to those two songs we just heard. Those are... Murray Head really owns those on this album. There were some other songs, like his magnificent opening track, the title track, Say It Ain't So, Joe, which he covers really well, but has also been done by Roger Daltrey, among others. The track Never Even Thought has been covered by a few artists. It was covered by Cliff Richard on Green Light. And it was also covered by Colin Blunstone on his album that year. Yeah, two versions came out that year. Yeah, there may have been some other songs covered too. Not sure. Um, this album, kind of like Russ Ballard's Winning, was kind of one of those albums that became more popular through the industry and producers who worked with vocalists who, like interpretive vocalists, would take songs off this album and say, here's one to record. Yeah. For more Rubies and Sapphires from this album and others by Murray Head, both the one before it, Nigel lived, and some of his early 80s catalog, see the directory of albums by English M artists, linked in the description below, for red hot tracks and tasty purples, like the two I just played and others from his catalog, as well as many other English M artists, bands, and solo acts. M being one of the thickest letters in the performer alphabet. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two songs we just heard, the layers, the nuances, the instrumentation, the effects, the production, just the sonic richness that gave it its like trance-like quality. If it put you in a trance, please comment on that. If it had a similar effect on you that you saw it having on me as I kind of just went into that trance, yeah, let me know. And also comment on the lyrics if you have other interpretations, or if you, whatever your interpretations might be, like what you read into them, or if you know any backstories about them that I apparently don't know. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.